Hey guys, Chad Hoover, Kayak Bass and TV, and today we're going to talk about should you choose a sit on top or sit inside kayak for fishing. All right guys, so I get this question quite a bit. I'm really not sure why I get this question because I only film from sit on top kayaks. So obviously when the question is, hey Chad, what do you think's better, sit on tops or sit insides for fishing? I obviously think sit on tops are better because it's what I use. But let me take the time to explain to you the difference between a sit inside style kayak, a sit on top, and why I choose a sit on top for fishing. So a sit on top style kayak, for one, is generally a kayak that I'm going to be able to stand up in the modern fishing kayak designs from almost every major manufacturer out there. They're going to have a wider seat. They're going to have more functionality. I like to sit side straddle and hang my feet over the sides. I like to attach attachments for cameras, for rod holders, for gear. I like to integrate my electronics, and more importantly, I really like the ability to get in and out of the kayak because I have to get in and get out when I'm dragging the kayak across rocks, through woods, over logs and things like that, running rivers. And a sit on top kayak is just more conducive to that. The other main reason that I prefer a sit on top over a sit inside is it requires a lot less skilled training, a lot less paddling skill to ensure that you're safe out on the water. What I mean by that is if you flip a sit on top kayak, they're pretty easy to get back into. In fact, I'll link up in my description box, or in the overhead and in the description box, the deep water re-entry video that we did after I got flipped out of the kayak fishing for a Goliath grouper. Show you guys how to do that. So they're just that much easier. When it comes to sit inside style kayaks, you need to know how to use a paddle float. You need to know how to do a wet exit. You need to know how to get the water out of your boat. And you just have to have a lot more specialized training, and you have to have a lot more specialized equipment. And it's one of those things that I don't think most fishermen are willing to invest in. And so as a leader in this industry, I don't want to promote something that I feel like is going to be dangerous. For an angler out there and for myself, sit on top kayaks just fish my style of fishing. I like to lay rods between my legs. There's a lot of things that I like to do that I can't do from a sit inside style kayak. But if you're going to use a sit inside style kayak, I suggest that you take some specialized training, learn from an ACA instructor, somebody that has experience in that field, to make sure that you understand not only how to paddle it safely, but to prepare for the inevitable. Should you capsize your boat? Should you take on water? Should you go for a swim and know how to handle that? So without further ado, let's take a look at a sit inside style kayak and the differences between a sit on top and a sit inside. All right, so let's take a look at this sit inside style kayak and point out some of the differences, okay? First and foremost, a sit inside style kayak does have some advantages. For one, they're not as heavy, so they're easier to shoulder up and carry. You can stay dry in the wintertime. Now, one thing I want to caution you about when it comes to I like a sit inside style kayak because it keeps me dry in the wintertime is you should still be dressed for the swim. Just because you're getting in a sit inside style kayak and you've got this protection from the wind and from the elements doesn't mean you shouldn't be dressed to take a swim. So if the water temperatures dictate that you should be wearing anti-exposure gear, which is basically the rule of 120. Anytime your air temperature and water temperature add up to less than 120, you should be wearing anti-exposure. Dry suit, wetsuit, dry bibs with a dry top with a tight PFD on. We'll talk more about that in a different video. But anyway, let's continue talking about the sit inside style kayak. Again, just based on what I'm telling you already, there's just a lot more to know when it comes to purchasing a sit inside style kayak. You've got rear day hatches that have bulkheads in them that make them waterproof. So you do have a little bit more waterproof or true waterproof storage in a sit inside kayak. One of the things that is a disadvantage for me is that you don't have access to that gear in a lot of cases unless you get out of the boat. If you swamp the boat, even a lot of times if you have a spray skirt on, the boat's going to fill up with water. You're going to either have to beach the kayak and get the water out, or you're going to have to do a water elimination while you're on the water. Something to keep in mind is there's additional safety equipment required. You're going to need a bilge pump. NRS makes a great bilge pump that you can put down between your legs, have easy access to, and if you do take on water, you can vacate that water from the inside of the hull really quickly. You've got accessories on the modern sit inside style kayaks, like this little gear pouch, this center console, a little hatch drink holder, and a couple places to mount rod holders, and some bungee points for lashing stuff to the deck. So You've got a lower center of gravity in a sit-inside style kayak. The hull is gonna paddle more efficiently with the proper paddle length. One thing to keep in mind is if you go from a sit-on-top style kayak, especially the modern sit-on-tops with the higher seats, you're gonna need a shorter paddle when you drop down to a sit-inside style kayak. So if you're gonna buy, you know, 2 for double duty, you're gonna need a different paddle, something in the sub 230 length range for most adult males and most adult females to paddle one of these boats efficiently. Keep in mind, if you're gonna buy a sit-inside style kayak, you're gonna spend more time in the seat, okay? You're not gonna be able to stand, you're not gonna get in and out of the boat as much, so it's more imperative that when you purchase a sit-inside style kayak, that you get a comfortable seat. The Phase 3 seats from Wilderness Systems, and a lot of your more premium sit-inside style kayaks have air bladders, they have, you know, infinite adjustability up and down, back and forth, they have leg lifters and things like that to really accommodate dialing that boat in and making it fit like a glove. The boat's gonna paddle more efficiently. You're gonna have a more intimate connection with the craft in a sit-inside style kayak. They're great for flat water paddling. They're great for slow moving rivers. But in my opinion, okay, and so we're talked about both sides. There are advantages to the sit-insides. There are advantages to the sit-on-tops. But for me, when you consider the comfort, the riggability, the fishability, the safety factor, you know, and the more versatility, the versatility that the sit-on-top offers, I give the nod to the sit-on-top style kayak like I do because that's what I fish, you know, when it comes to selecting a fishing kayak. So if you're gonna consider a sit-inside style fishing kayak, it's even more imperative that you educate yourself. It's even more imperative that you understand the specialized skills that you're gonna need. And it's even more imperative that you visit a knowledgeable pro shop like the guys here at Hook One Outfitters and understand exactly what you're getting into. And this is a boat that I think you should definitely try before you buy. You should absolutely try before you buy. It would be like buying shoes without trying them on. And so consider a sit inside, consider a sit on top. But if you're asking me for my personal recommendation, like you guys have been in the comment section, then I'm gonna tell you to go with a sit on top. Try it before you can buy it. Try it before you buy it if you can. And that's my take on a sit on top kayak versus a sit inside. Hope that helps. Guys, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please leave a comment. These are the kind of videos where we can offer awesome discussions for people that are new to the Brotherhood and give them proper advice, even outside of what I'm saying. Put it in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Turn on that notifications bell, even if you've been here for a while, if you haven't turned it on, so you can get a notification each and every time I release a new video here at Kayak Bassin TV, and I'll see you next time.